I am Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher, 33. And there are those that believe this existence that we call reality is nothing more than a simulation, a video game, and that the source of the consciousness that we perceive as us is in fact in the distant star Sirius. And all of life is a game. And it's a game of levels and experience, much like an RPG. And I think this is an interesting concept, as I've found myself in what I perceive as certain games. Games as if I make the right choices, if I come in contact with the right souls and form friendships, alliances, then we gain experience points, we gain skills, and options open up to where we can progress to a new level, a new sphere of experience, of existence. And I remember as a kid, my generation was probably the first with computer games, with the RPG. And I grew up again with the 8-bit video game consoles, the Nintendo and Sega. And Nintendo was the more popular console, but I gotta say, the Sega console had some amazing games. And I remember the first RPG I ever played was a game called Phantasy Star. And the concept of the game was that the heroine of the story, actually the lead character, was a female warrior. And the world in which she lived, the galaxy, had fallen under a dark spell. The once good king of the galaxy was controlled by a dark force. And the political structures of that world were controlled by a dark force. And this heroine was chosen to go out and get to the bottom of the corruption. Now, she initially doesn't know that there's a dark force controlling the king, but she knows that something has gone horribly wrong. And the once good king, the once benevolent leader of the galaxy has turned into a tyrant. And her mission is simply to go and understand why that is and talk to him. And that leads into this grand adventure of battling monsters and demons and seeking out other allies who have complementary gifts. A sorcerer, a paladin, a strange teleporting cat-like creature. Different allies that complement her skills. And again, ultimately, she finds out that this dark force is what's behind the corruption of the king. And she has to battle the king. And once she battles the king, the game is not over, as she has to go back to the governor of her home palace. And then she finds that the dark force has corrupted the governor and the local politics as well. It's this ever-penetrating dark force. And there she battles the dark force directly. She sees this confrontation once her skills are at the level to where she can face it, to where she can handle it. With her team, they battle the dark force. Now, successful in this particular game leads to the outcome of freeing the galaxy, ridding the galaxy of this plague that has penetrated the consciousness of the systems. And I thought this is kind of an interesting theme, especially in our world today, with what I've come to know. And whether the simulation theory is real or if it's just an idea, I believe it is based off of something true. As when we make choices that are in alignment with our highest good, when we have an awareness, we make choices that lead us in that direction, then more possibility opens up for us. However, if we make choices that violate our highest good, they may feel good in the immediate time, but eventually that leads to a diminished existence. And the more powerful, again, a character in these RPGs gets, then the greater the challenge that lies ahead of them. And I've found as we level up in this life here that we perceive as reality, when we level up, when our skills grow, our consciousness grows, our power and potential starts to be realized, the challenges meet that. It's not the cakewalk, it's not the God mode. It's greater challenges that are meeting the greater power we're starting to express. And on the other side, like in a game like Phantasy Star, you can access worlds that are far beyond your experience level and the skills you've acquired. And if you do that, usually you get wiped out. You face a demon or a monster that's way too powerful for you to handle. And I find the same in this world too. If you jump into something you're not quite ready for, it can wipe you out. It can level you out. If you don't have the skill, if you don't have the reserves, if you don't have those experience points, you can be leveled out by a challenge that is far beyond what you're capable of at that moment. But regardless, again, of what happens, the keys, again, are awareness, purpose. And in the game, the purpose is given to you. You know, you go out, you fight monsters, you talk to people, you talk to the NPCs, they give you information that leads you to your next quest. Now, this life, we can get stuck very easily. Sometimes the information coming in can be muddled. Sometimes it can be distorted. Sometimes it can be confusing. Not quite as easy as a video game. But when we are aware of a sense of purpose, a sense of mission, then that's our North Star. That's what's going to drive us. That's going to drive us in the direction that we can get those experience points. That's going to drive us to the allies and alliances of other souls on a similar mission that we come in contact with, we build communities with, and we take on the dark forces with. So, being in alignment, knowing your mission and being in alignment with it, and moving in that direction, taking information in the direction of your mission, of your soul's calling, is going to level you up. And right now, the world needs leveled up souls because there is a dark force that is puppeteering the perception of many people on this planet, and definitely puppeteering the institutions of power. So with that being said, I'm going to end this transmission. Be strong, be well, my friends, and I'll see you on the other side.